Okay, so moving on to 12.2, installment loans. We're going to define installment loan consistent with the textbook. A loan is amortized if both principal and interest are paid off using a sequence of equal periodic payments. This type of loan is called an installment loan. So most times when you're buying a vehicle or you buy a house, you're making the same amount of payment every month for an extended period of time. And so those are the type of loans we're talking, not credit cards where you can vary your amount of payment every month, but where it's fixed in nature. What you're going to actually be paying every month is going to be the same. Okay. We'll talk about finance charges that occur and annual percentage rates, APR. It's the rate that has to be disclosed by many companies or all companies who are offering these loans, and they have to be in the form of an APR so that they're comparable. Anytime they present their information so that it's not misleading, it has to be in an annual percentage rate. Sometimes people might be misled if they give a monthly rate of 1% or 0.5% and thinking, oh my God, that's way better than that 10% over there, but the 10% is annual and the 1% per month is monthly, and it's really not the same. So an APR, annual percentage rate, has to be provided. Textbook goes on to talk about credit history and how to avoid problems with your credit reports. 468 talks about installment loans and how to find the total installment cost, finance charge, and amount financed. So the total installment cost is going to be equal to the down payment plus the payment amount times the number of payments. When we talk about this total installment cost, this is what you're going to be paying the entire amount, the entire loan period from the beginning to the end, the entire cost of what you're buying. Now, in that installment cost includes the finance or the interest. So the finance charge, if you want to break that out separately, it equals the total installment cost, which you just computed in the previous line here, minus the cash price. If you were just to buy it for cash, then you'll pay a certain dollar amount. But if you buy it in installment payments, then the total installment cost minus the cash price is going to give you the actual amount that's been financed, or the finance charges. And then the amount financed is the cash price minus the down payment. So let's take a look at an example here and see if we can get through this. Frank Kimlicko recently received his master's degree and began work at a community college as a music professor specializing in classical guitar. He purchased an exquisite sounding classical guitar costing $3,800. That guitar better sound really good. With $500 down and 36 monthly payments at $109.61 each. Find the total installment costs, the finance charge, and the amount financed. Well, we'll look at our example here. The total installment cost equals the down payment plus the payment amount times the number of payments. So let's quickly pull up something. The down payment in this example here, let's see, $500 down. And then the payment amount is 109.61, 109.61. The number of payments, 36 monthly payments. And the formula, if you recall, says let's take the down payment and we're going to add to that the payment amount and the number of payments. So 109.61 multiplied by 36 gives us 3945.46. Let's go ahead and format these. Okay, so now we'll take the sum and we're going to add up 500 plus 3945, 96, and The total cost is $4,445. Total installment costs, $4,445.96. Okay. Now, in addition, it wants us to find the finance charge. The finance charge for this, if he had bought it just purely cash, this is the total installment cost. So if he would have just paid cash, he would have just paid $3,800. We're going to take the total installment cost, we're going to subtract the cash price, and so that is the finance charge. So he's paying $645.96 in interest as a result of financing this. $645.96. And the last question is, what was the amount financed? The amount financed would be the total cost, or the cash price, and we subtract the down payment, which was $500. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So the amount financed is the difference, $3,800 minus the $500, and that means he financed $3,300. Okay, so there's a formula that we can use to come up with the approximate annual percentage rate. And to do this, it's a pretty simple formula. We're going to take 24 times the finance charge, and we're going to divide that by the amount financed times 1 plus the total number of payments. Just plug in the numbers when you're working on this. So let's look at the example number 2. Florent Zay decides to buy a used car for $6,400. She makes a down payment of $1,200 and monthly payments of $169 for 36 months. Find the approximate annual percentage rate rounded to the nearest 1/10%. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what the installment cost is. We're going to take $1,200, that's the down payment, and then we're going to take the monthly payments of $169 and multiply that by 36 months. So we're going to take this times this, which equals that. So this here is all together first. 169 times 36 equals 6,084. And then we're going to add these two together so that our total installment costs equals the 1,200 plus the 6,084, 7,284. Next, we're going to figure out what the finance charge is. To get the finance charge, if you recall, we're going to take the total installment costs, and we're going to subtract from that the cash price, $6,400. We take the $7,284, subtract the $6,400. $6,400 was the cash price. So the finance charge was $884. The amount financed is going to be the $6,400 cash price minus the down payment. So $6,400 minus the 24 gives us $5,200. So that's how much he actually financed. That's what he's going to be paying over time. And when we have interest, it's going to be charged on the $5,200 to begin with. Now, once we have that, I think we have the information we need to actually do the computations for the APR. Yeah, we do. So let me go ahead and just make this bigger. So if I write this out first, we're going to do 24 times the finance charge. Do we come up with the finance charge? Yep, 884. And that's going to be divided by the amount financed, which is $5,200, times 1 plus 36, which is the total number of payments. Okay, so let's first do the numerator. So we'll do 24 times 884. And then let's work on the denominator. We're going to take $5,200, and we're going to multiply that, open parentheses, 1 plus 36. All right, so we have the numerator and the denominator. And then we just do the math, 21216 divided by 19,400. And I got 0.11027. What did they come up? 0.110 rounded to the nearest percentage. That's going to be 11%. Okay. Moving on to example number 2. Example number 3. In example number 2, a used car costing $6,400 was financed at $169 per month for 36 months. We're right here. After a down payment of $1,200. The total finance charge was $884. The amount financed was $5,200. Find the annual percentage rate. Okay, so now finding the annual percentage rate, we can use the table to find the APR. We use the table. Another way we can come up with the APR, we can use a table. And to do that, we're going to multiply the finance charge by $100 and divide by the amount financed. So the finance charge times 100 and then divided by the amount financed. The result is the finance charge per $100 of the amount financed. And then from there, we'll read down the left column of the annual percentage rate table to the proper number of payments, and then go across to the closest number found in step 1, whatever number comes up. Here we can compare that, find the number that's closest to this on the table, and we'll read. So the easiest way is just to get it done. In example 2, a used car costing $6,400 was financed at $169 per month for 36 months after a down payment of $1,200. The total finance charge was $884 and the amount financed was $5,200. Find the annual percentage rate. All right, so let's see what we can do here. We're going to first multiply the finance charge by 100. We're going to use this formula here. Finance charge times 100 divided by the amount financed. So $884 multiplied, that's what is the total finance charge was $884. That's given in the problem. So 884, that's the finance charge, that gets here. Multiplied by 100. 100 is what's required. That's a number that's provided here in this formula. Then we're going to divide that by the amount financed. The amount financed is given. The amount financed was $5,200. So we take the 884 multiplied by 100 and we divide it by 5,200, and we're going to come up with $17. This number is what we're going to use on the table. Okay, $17. Now the question is where's the table? So let's go on to the next page. We're looking for 17. Well, first we go with the number of payments. So we're going to scroll down the number. By the way, the table's on page 470. We're going to go down the number of payments all the way to 36, and then we're going to keep going across until we find the closest number to the number we came up with. We came up with $17. This is 17.01. That's the closest number. So then we're going to go up, and we find out that the closest percentage, or the approximate percentage, is 10.5%. The example to the formula for the approximate annual percentage rate gave an answer of 11%, which is not accurate enough to meet the requirements of the law. So, in fact, this is actually going to be a little bit more accurate. Right? The formula that we got before was not as accurate. So the table that we use is actually going to be a little bit more accurate. So we would prefer to use the table in this case. There's the table. Let's move on to the example number 4. 2 brothers from Italy Pizza borrowed $48,000 to remodel their store. They agreed to a note with payments of $1,565.78 per month for 36 months. Find the annual percentage rate. So the first thing we're going to do is come up with the total installment cost. That's the total amount that they're going to pay. Well, what did they put down? In this case, it's 0. And then we're going to add to that the monthly payment times 36 months. So really, since there's nothing down, you can ignore this and just take this number. It's 1565.78, 1565.78 multiplied by 36 months. That came from the instructions. And the total amount that they're paying is $56,368.08. That's the total installment cost. Now the finance charge is going to be the difference between the total installment cost less the amount borrowed. Well, really, the amount borrowed with no. Well, really, it's the total cost of the cash price. Had they just paid this cash, they would have paid $48,000. They didn't put any money down. We would have had to subtract, if they put any money down on this, but they didn't. So that was the cash price, $48,000. 56,368.08 minus the 48,000. That equals 8368.08. So their amount of finance, the finance charge, the difference between this two is going to give you the finance charge. This is what they're paying in interest. And then the amount financed is going to be the 48,000, the cash price, minus the 0 down payment. That would give you the 48,000. Okay. Now we have the information we need to plug into that APR formula. We have the, let's go back to that formula. What is the formula? Finance charge times 100 divided by the amount financed. Finance charge times 100 divided by the amount financed. Finance charge 8368.08 times 100 divided by the amount financed. The amount financed was 48,000. 8368.08 multiplied by 100 divided by 48,000. If you run that number, you'll come up with 17.4335. Now, they're paying for 36 months, 17.4335, so we're going to look for this number, the closest off of 36 months. 17.43, is that what we got? 17, yep, 17.4335. The closest we can come up with is a 17.43, so we scroll up, and it turns out that that rate is 10.75%. 10.75%. That concludes 12.2.